For the last few years that we've owned our land up here, it seems like this week represents a major shift in a lot of things. My emotions seem to get turned up a notch or two. My anxiety, my blood pressure, whatever else comes with the territory, where I can just feel it in my bones that the weather's officially changing. But this also happens to be the 4-year anniversary of my dad's passing away. But I'm not going to carry on a whole lot about that.
Yeah, do I call here or do I call the fire department to register burning? I'm gonna burn some burn some piles of maple today. I can't imagine there's any reason why I shouldn't, but if there is, please call me back and let me know if there's any reason why I shouldn't be burning. Thank you.
While this week was not as monumental as maybe it could have been, I was still able to get my propane tanks, get my rebar, and get a few other things done around the property that I've been putting off. We finally got the place cleaned up. Cedar and the kids came up and helped me get everything picked up and cleaned up before the weather came in. We had some pretty significant storms move through, and the solar panels didn't move around at all. Wind, lightning, and probably close to 3 inches of rain. Everything looks good. I think we're going to get one more window to where I can get my concrete done, and I'm holding out for that. Even though we did get a few inches of rain, I was still quite concerned about how hot these fires burn. I lit a couple of fires that were right out here in the open that I didn't feel were as vulnerable to catch anything else on fire, and wanted to see kind of what was going to happen. This wood is about 2 years old now, so it's dry, and as I suspected, once I got it going, it got really hot really quick. There are a few other piles around the property that I may wait until we've got snow on the ground, but it felt good to get these burned up. When I'm standing around watching these piles burn, it gives me a lot of time to think. And I guess the thing I think about the most this week is how grateful I am for the example that my father was of what a man is supposed to be. In a world that seems to discount and dismiss the importance of a good husband, a good father, and a strong family, I find myself wondering what he would think about what we're doing up here. He was adamant that the family stay close together, but he was also very supportive of me. I'm certain he'd be up here swinging a hammer with me every chance he got. But he didn't like the cold. He worked the same job at the same high school for over 30 years and lived in the same house for over 37 years. So in that way we were different. But that being said, I think in his own way he liked little adventures. May God continue to bless the men that strive to do the right thing when nobody's watching, and may God bless the women that push these men to be this way. It's been a bit of a hard week. Monday I had Cedar and the kids come up and help me clean up the whole front of the house and get the trailer unloaded. And we could see in the weather that there were some storms coming. You never know just how much there's going to be, but I didn't want to take a chance and leave my tools out that I've been putting off for a while. So we were able to get everything inside the house. And then Tuesday I found a guy about 5 hours away from me that had a bunch of propane tanks, and I drove down there and I bought 2 propane tanks from him that one I'll keep for the house, and one I'll probably try and sell and recoup some of the money that it cost me to drive down there. It was about a $200 trip. I hurt my back on Monday moving all that stuff around, and so I was, I figured I could drive. Even though I was as sore as I was, I could still sit in my truck and drive, which I was able to do. But so Tuesday I drove down. Wednesday morning I woke up and felt like a train wreck. I actually got up here prepared to work, and I couldn't work. I had no energy. I did get my rebar. I went and picked up all the rebar that I need for the addition. My plan was to focus on the addition, but again, we were watching the storms coming in. And so I dropped the rebar off, and I got home that night, and I had a fever. And so I ended up coming down with the, some sort of a stomach bug that my kids and it seems like everybody in the house has had it but me. And for the last day and a half, I just laid around and did nothing, trying to recover a little bit. Today, I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to get up here and get something done. I was going to focus on the insulation in the upstairs and try and get that finished. But it rained. Over the last 2 days, it rained so much that I knew I could burn. And so I went ahead and started burning what I felt I could safely burn. I wanted to kind of see how hard it was going to be to get all this wood started. And I wanted to see, if it's still wet enough. As dry as it's been, we probably got 2 inches of rain last night, and it came down with a fury. And the winds, the lightning, it was insane. The good news is the solar panels didn't move around at all. I was able to get the anchors finished on the solar panel, but I just wasn't sure if it was wet enough. But I was able to get a couple of fires going that were kind of a couple of piles burning that were out in the middle of the property that were less likely to catch anything else on fire. I'm kind of looking at them right now, and everything went okay. I can see that I may wait on some of the other piles that are a little bit bigger. I may wait until we actually got some snow on the ground to do those, but I think I'll be able to burn all the rest of them. So my goal for this week was to finish the shed. And I've started on it a little bit, but I really haven't done as much as I needed to get done. Now we're at a point where the temperatures are getting below freezing, and so I think what I'm going to do to be safe is I'm going to drain the water out of the tank, just open up one of these yard hydrants, run a hose somewhere, I don't know, on the sprinklers or something, just to get that water down low enough where it's not going to be vulnerable to freezing and breaking the fittings. Even though I have insulated them, I'm going to do that until I get the shed finished. Next week it looks like we're going to have a few days of rain, but I think I'm going to be able to get the rebar tied off. And there's a window. It looks like it's going to dry out and the sun's going to come back, hopefully, where I can get that concrete poured. That's my number one goal. Concrete and gravel are the 2 things right now. I've made a deal with my neighbor over here, Terrell, that if he will haul the gravel for me, I'll do a bunch of plumbing for him and see if we can't get 6 or 8 loads of gravel on the driveway and on the pad right here. That's going to be the one thing that's going to make life so much easier to live up here. And so anyway, I think I need one more day of laying around maybe to bounce back. I just don't have a whole lot of energy. And then hopefully first part of next week I can hit the ground running and get these things done that I need to get done. So when I'm not able to work outside, I'm just going to finish the insulation. The upstairs is basically done. I'm going to finish the insulation up there, get the inspections done, and I'm going to start doing drywall up there. And so I'm going to try and do whatever I can to start, continue checking things off the list, even though I was afraid this was going to happen. I was afraid I was going to get caught with the rain and be forced to have to slow down a little bit. But we'll figure it out. Once that concrete's poured, then I can finish framing that up, and it should go pretty fast. But the good news is my road up there to the water tank did not erode away at all in the least bit. I think this all helped. All this rain helped with the grass seed and it did wonders up here as far as, you know, getting that dust down. But still, you take a shovel and dig down about 4 inches, and it's still dry down there. So we need some good moisture to get down into the soil. But anyway,